Yo, it's Ika here. I thought I'd go over just a bit of a preview of what I think will be good for the upcoming Spikemuth Cup, which is a competition that's been held with the Gen 8 decks, and basically you can bring any Pokemon as long as it's not restricted from the Gen 8 Pokedex, so there's all three of them, and you can't use Dynamax is the mechanic, as similar to Spikemuth Gym in game. So I thought I compiled some of the best Pokemon, well, what I think will be some good Pokemon, and just to give an idea of where I think they're going to be at coming to the Spikemuth Cup. Of course, this is all theory money, so don't expect anything that I say here to be factual, or to be anything like it appears. I haven't played a non-Dynamax meta for, well, several years, so yeah, it could be a difficult one. Um, but anyways, I'm going to get into it. I put SS tier. This is just the Pokemon I think are going to be like beyond good, and if I can find the Pokemon I think it's going to be best. God, it's difficult to see sometimes. Surely I have that Pokemon. Wow, maybe I'm blind. Oh no, there it is. Mimikyu. I think Mimikyu is going to still be excellent in Spikemuth Cup. It's obviously been great throughout Gen 7 and Gen 8, being the GOAT of Gen 7. Many people might be thinking, well, Mimikyu's going to be pretty weak without either Dynamax or Z moves, but I think it still does its job adequately well with just Life Orb, or just as long as you can Swords Dance and play rough at Shadow Claw, Shadow Sneak. Obviously, you won't be running as much Phantom Force now. It's not as important with Dynamax out. So yeah, that Pokemon will definitely be good. It still checks a large variety of the meta. It's a great revenge killer. Can set up on anything, can really annoy. Stall with some of its more like curse variants and stuff like that, which we could see more of. The second Pokemon I think that's going to be really, really, really good. Let's see if I can find Porygon 2. I think Porygon 2 is just going to be unkillable. The reason that Porygon 2 was kind of, I'd say, like in Generation 7 it was top 10 for sure, but always on the lower end, and sometimes in the 10 to 15 range, and that was due to the wide distribution of Toxic, which really hampered P2's ability to survive and stick around in the field. But it should be able to do that here. It also has Trick Room, which is good with potentially with something like Blastria. It's generally just a very solid Pokemon that actually does a decent amount of damage. I'll get on to why I don't think Stall's going to be that good later on, but I think Porygon 2 will definitely be excellent, most likely. It just will sit on teams and be very difficult to take care of. Third Pokemon that I think is really going to be good. Let's see if I can find a Pokemon that I can also put in the very top. Unfortunately, I haven't organised this. Oh, wait a second. No, there's a Pokemon better than Urshifu, which is Cinderace, aka Ronaldinho Soccer. This Pokemon's still going to be monstrous. Of course, it benefits greatly from Dynamax. Life Orb plus Dynamax Cinderace is just a recipe for disaster, but even without Dynamax, this Pokemon is very difficult to stop when you attach a life orb or an expert belt to it. You know, high jump kick from this thing is gonna wreck Porygon 2. Nothing wants to switch into Pyro Ball as is, unless you're like Hippowdon. Yeah, Hippowdon or Arcanine are like the only things that really want to switch into it. So you're gonna have to really play around. Cinderace and Toxapex is the other good war Cinderace. So I think these three are probably going to be the best three Pokemon, and they like kind of, because they're just so inherently broken and very easy to fit on teams, do a lot of things. If anything, it'll probably be Mimikyu, Cinderace, and then Porygon 2. I can see Porygon 2 going lower. I can see it being just like here or something, but you never know. I think Shifu, Dragapult, are going to be very good. I'm trying to think if I can see something else that I really would put up in this level of what I've got here. I consider Zapdos somewhere between here and here. I think Urshifu, I think banned. Oh, Rillaboom is definitely up here as well. Actually, Rillaboom is definitely up here. So I'll talk about Urshifu first. I'm just grouping both forms here. I think Banded Wicked Blow in particular is very difficult to switch into for the standard meta game. And just good dart resists are hard to come by. Banded Close Combat is going to be a nightmare to switch into as well, other than if you got Ghost type, but then they don't want to switch into Wicked Blow. So yeah, also a great Sash Pokemon. Just a great general trader and stall breaker. Banded Rillaboom is the same thing, very little wants to switch into Grassy Glide here, or in general. I think that will be enough. SD, I can see SD, Life Orb will be very good. Dragapult, it's just that it can do a lot of things. I think the utility that it brings to the table is very strong. I could see it being lower in usage. I could see it being like 10th, or even though it depends on how the meta game shapes out. The 5 I'm sure will be strong on these 5. Zapdos, I think, I don't think it's anywhere near as good without Dynamax, but it is still strong. It's a good defensive bulky pivot. It's especially good at stopping Rillaboom clicking buttons. That's the main thing it's good at. And yeah, it's still hard to switch into the electric type. I could see Zapdos potentially being in A as well. These two are kind of the ones that I'm least sure on. Then when looking at A, I actually think, see if there's anything in here. Tyranitar, let's put you here. Garchomp, Hippo. I think Ocean Heat, Cotton Wash, Exit Drill. These Dom I can see potentially being in here as well, if these are all in here. I'll kind of explain Dom and Dracovish, I can see it as well. Dracovish. So I'm thinking something like this, but I'll talk about, oh wait, did I even put Spectria? Spectria might be here. I'll talk about Dom and Dracovish first. Darmanitan, I think just Scarf. These two with Choice Scarf are really difficult to switch into. Choice Bandage even potentially if Store becomes a thing. Dongala has the coverage to just wreck teams, and same with Fish. Fish's friend is not really resisted by that much. Does require you to bring particular Pokemon. Okay, I'm gonna split this. So I'll put SSS. I'll call it A plus and add a row below. We'll put that A minus. I hope this is still looking good. Yeah. So I think A plus is Tar, Hippo. I think this can go to A minus. Room wash, I think so that looks good. Talk about Tar. Tar I think is the best Dragon Ball check, the best Zapdos check. I think it offers a lot. It's good versus Porygon 2. I think it offers a lot of utility generally. A decent Staff Rocker. It can set up Sand for Excadrill. In a meta without Dynamax, Excadrill is actually pretty difficult to deal with. This gets killed by SD Stone Edge. One thing that Zapdos has to worry about is the fact that without Dynamax, it's nowhere near as strong. It can't kill Excadrill in one hit, so SD Stone Edge is going to kill this. Iron Head will destroy Dom. It destroys Dragapult. With Sand Chip, you're gonna beat a Shifu. So yeah, there's obviously Mimikyu you beat, and you can beat Porygon 2 as long as it's not got Foul Play, and beat Ronaldinho Soccer. So yeah, that I think could be a real big threat. Drill, I think it's also good Sash. Just a general trader, though I don't like it as much because Sash Shifu and Sash Cinderace are just better. Garchomp I can see being really good. It has to watch out for Mimikyu and Dragapult, but the rest of this list is and but the rest of this list is fine. I think Scarf is really good. Sash is good. I can see it potentially being a bit lower on the side. Rotom Heat I think is really good, especially I think the Rotom forms have the you can switch into Rillaboom. You have Trick, which really annoys Zapdos. It annoys it ruins every single stall. I think that's one of the reasons Stall is not going to be that good. It ruins Porygon 2. Nasty Plot automatically beats every single form of fat. Top Specs I think is going to be the best Stormon, followed by Ferrothorn. The reason is Top Specs can sit on everything, and it's immune to Toxic. Basically, Toxapex beats every other stall Pokemon except Ferrothorn in the 1v1. I mean, it beats Ferrothorn eventually, but it's like a PP war. But it beats like Chansey Blissey, beats Quagsire, beats Corsola, Galar, all of these Pokemon. It doesn't deal with well, and the fact that it can toxic stuff like Zapdos, it can toxic Porygon 2, I think will make it really important, although it'll have weaknesses, but then I'll probably have, I can see like bulky offense being pretty good. Yeah, Garchomp I've already talked about. So, talk about Ferrothorn, I think it's just a solid Pokemon. It's probably the best fish check. It's good against Tar, Drill, Hippo. It can sit in versus a lot of this, especially non-special variants of Dragapult. It can sit in versus. I think you can You can beat Mimikyu. Yeah, can beat Rillaboom. Is also good against Regieleki. Regieleki, I think, is pretty good. I'm not sure how good it's going to be. Depends how much ground type usage it is, but it's just something you have to respect. I think dual screens could be a potential thing with like SD Scale Shot, Garchomp. There's not that many good fairies in the meta game, so dragon types automatically become better because of that. So yeah, I can see like SD Scale Shot, Garchomp, SD Drill, Dragon Dance, Dragapult, SD Life Orb, Rillaboom, to just give a few examples. I think could be like pretty good cheese teams. Aegislash, I think, is just a great trader. Trades well with a lot of these Pokemon. I think Weakness Policy is actually underrated as a set, just because Shadow Sneak can do a lot to some of these Pokemon. Like you can Weakness Policy, Shadow Sneak, and Oko, like Dragapult. Also, there's another thing, King Shield on the lead slot scouts Darmanitan, and it scouts Dracovish, move selection, and it can sash close combat, so it can work as a sash lead versus a lot of this tier as well. Beats Sash Extra Drill, beats a Shifu, unless beats Bandit or Shifu, goes even with Sash. Obviously you need to be the Dark Shifu to beat Aegislash, and you have to play mind games to win with Sucker Punch, even if you're... So yeah, there's that. Spectria, I could see working. I don't know how good it's going to be. I see some like Will-O-Wisp plus Hex stuff, Nasty Plot, etc. being a thing. Ghost type is quite hard to switch into. Unfortunately, Porygon 2 walls all variants of Spectria. So that is kind of something that's gonna be an issue, as well as Mimikyu. And if it's not Scarf, Dragapult is faster, which is going to be annoying. I feel like it might suffer from like load of Shadow Sneak and Sucker Punch spam, but we'll have to see. And T-Tar is going to actually ruin Spectria's day as well, so that's why I put it in A-. I think it has potential though, although it could get bound to B+ or something. Rotom Wash, I think it's just the typing's slightly worse than Rotom Heat. Rotom Heat's better against Zapdos and Rillaboom, but Rotom Wash does come with the ability to pressure Tar, Hippo, and Toxapex better. So you kind of just trade off the typings. Actually, lastly, in A-, gonna put Zapdos Galar. This is a kind of a hot take from. Oh, wait a second. We'll put this as well. Corviknight, I think, is here as well. Corviknight, I think, is the third best. But he, Steel, I think, like, Taunt, especially, is very good. Beats Mimikyu, can wind up Pokemon with Taunt. See, like, Walls Rillaboom can do well versus Shifu. And potentially take some hits to some of these Pokemon like Excadrill and Garchomp. I think it's like slightly more offensive than Skarmory, but it just needs to watch out for Cinderace. Talk about Zapdos. Zapdos, I think it's just nothing can really take hits from this Pokemon very well. The lack of fairy types. I think fighting types are going to get a big buff. I'll be talking about Conkeldurr in a second. But yeah, Zapdos Galar, I can see like just ruining through this. Let's call it only Mimikyu is really dangerous. Like what here wants to switch into a Bandit Brave Bird or Thunderous Kick. There's nothing here that wants to switch into Thunderous Kick or Brave Birds. Not even defensive Toxapex can deal with the Bandit Brave Birds. You can also bulk up. I think it's pretty dangerous, and there's only like a few electric types. There's no like Tapu Koko as well, and no Tapu Fini. So yeah. Okay, I talked about B tier Pokemon. I think Lastria is here. I think Dragonite. Actually, Dragonite's in A minus. I think Balance is really good. I think Fairy Balance is really good. Multiscale is just doing the same thing as it always was. I think this is here. I think this is here. I think. Actually, no. I think this is here. I think Galarian Slowking is here. So I think Conk is here. I think Whimsicott is here. And yeah, I guess that is about it. Maybe Azu is here as well. So Glastrier, I think it's actually pretty good. I think you could see P2 Glastrier rooms be doing pretty effectively. Not much wants to deal with Glastrier very well. Let's say Aegislash is a bit of a problem for it, but other than that, like, it's gonna wreck face on the rooms. It's like something that like SD, even Skarmory doesn't want to deal with it because the Bicycle Crash can flinch. Yeah, I could definitely see it working in conjunction with a special sweeper, or maybe with Hatterene, Lazaruma. You just need something that actually beats Full Stall. Mamo, I think, just has a decent amount of spread, but it just has to watch out for certain things. Obviously, Urshifu being the chief one, and yeah, mostly Urshifu. But I think other than that, it has a good matchup spread. Dracovish, but you have Sash. You'll have Sash on it always, so you can just trade with stuff very easily from the Sash slot. Can be a decent stuff rocker as well if you're like very Dragon Weak. Salamence, I just think is a standard DD. I'm not sure what I think about it. Actually, I think the fact it can go mixed is good, and there's not much more to it. Cloyster, I think, is like similar to Aegislash in that it's a good 1v1er. I think it's Shell Smash. It can Shell Smash on Mimikyu, especially non-life orb variants, and then it just like goes to town on everything. especially if you've got King's Rock. King's Rock can actually full on sweep through teams, and you don't need Sash if you're setting up against the right Pokemon in this meta. So like you can like Dom locks into Ice move, Dracovish sets up on Mimikyu. Just have to watch out for Grassy Glide from Rillaboom, but obviously it's a matchup dependent Pokemon, and you can always run Sash and trade with Rillaboom. So yeah, sets up on Drill as well. So yeah, there you have it. Galarian Slowking, I think it could be okay. I'm not sure. It has an interesting typing, so I'm not sure how it will do. My gut says it's actually slightly lower. We'll put it and see. I think Conkeldurr's going to wreck Face. There's not very much good switch-ins to Guts moves. Mimikyu is like the only top fairy in my opinion. So fighting types are going to be really good because there's no Tapus. Togekiss is like way worse because there's no Dynamax. So a lot of what makes Sylveon's just not as good a fairy as or Clefable, they're not as good fairies as Mimikyu is, just in the format. So yeah, I think Sylveon's actually here as well. I think Sylveon's actually there. Sylveon's actually decent, it'll just be it. I don't see anything by it being anything but a Spadef Carmine Wall. You can Carmine a lot of stuff and then like pass Yawns and Wishes and shit like that. It's just another fairy type because you'll need them to resist Dragon Spam. Because I think Dragon Spam could be actually pretty viable if you had paired it up with something like Magnezorn. So yeah, Conkeldurr, just look at the matchup spread. Beats Cinderace, beats Porygon 2, beats both variants of Urshifu. Can trade with Rillaboom. Beats most variants of Dragapult, but you have to be careful. Obviously loses its Zapdos, but Ice Punch Facade will actually beat non-Hurricane Zapdos, beats Darmgala, does lose the Fish, beats these, beats this, can beat Toxapex, though it's difficult, beats Chomp, or some variants of Chomp beats Ferrer. So you have to be really careful around Conkeldurr, I think, with this meta. Also destroys, completely obliterates Stall. Especially, you're forced to bring Skarmory for a start. Which is like, it's not good. Whimsicott, it's just annoying. There's not much more to say about it. I think it's just annoying in general. Sub-bleach heat, you can't just max airstream through it so I can see like the Cotton Guard set being really a piss take. Azu, I think Belly Drum is good. There's not much else to say to it. It can drum on this locked in the right move. Can drum potentially on this if it's Ice Beam foul play. Yeah. I can see AV also being pretty good. I think it's going to be quite a physical meta overall, but AV might be pretty good. Talk about the blobs. I think I only see I think I don't even know where to rank this. I think this is here. I think putting this here. I'll talk about all these things kind of at the same time. A lot of this is stall or anti-stall. I'll try and fill in the rest of this. So, blobs. Obviously they are king in Series 8, but why are they not good in Series 9? Well, not in Series 9, in Spikemuth. Well, why I don't think they're that good. My main reasoning is that, like, people have kind of a misconception that because the power level is lower, and objectively it is because there's no dynamite, therefore stall is stronger. But that's not actually true. It's actually the opposite. The power being over centralized and needing strong checks for stuff leads to the rise of stall, because Pokemon that are typically good at breaking through stall. Let's take an example of Rotom. Rotom is a great Pokemon at breaking through stall. Has Trick, has Nasty Plot, has Pain Split. Really annoying to stall. In fact, Rotom can 6-0 stall, but the reason you don't see Rotom in Series 8 meta is because the threats are just too large. It can't switch into Station or Kyogre or Eternatus. Whereas the only things that can switch into these sorts of Pokemon are Chansey, Quagsire. So when people are looking at defensively minded teams, they naturally gravitate towards stall. Unfortunately, the flaw of stall generally is that there is two types of threats. Obviously, the ones that are more direct, like Banded Dracovish or Banded Galarian Darmanitan. But a lot of the breakers that are best against stall are Aurelian or like stall breakers or like Taunt, Corviknight. Can't really do well in a meta game that has just so overpowered Pokemon. It just feels like wasting a slot. SD Aegislash and another one that just destroys stall, as does SD Woodhound in the game. I think like it's unhealthy for stall. Belly Drum Azu is another thing that can just wreck stall. And I think like there's also Pokemon like Conkeldurr that directly get better due to there being a lack of fairies, and other like dragon types in general being better due to lack of fairies. So you know, you're looking at Chomp, you're looking at D-Knight. Granted, there is Skarmory here and Quagsire, but yeah, I think when power creep gets lower, obviously there's an extent to which, like, it doesn't matter anymore. But when it gets lower, I think it puts this in here and this on. Then Pokemon that usually you wouldn't see that can break through stall quite easily will be able to shine. I should say Galarian Weezing is probably going to be an interesting one. I like its interesting role, being able to cancel out Guts from Conkeldurr and a few other interesting small interactions that it can do. That will make it an interesting Summon. I think Snorlax, I think it's going to still be out classed by Porygon 2. The Bone Earth is big. Unfortunately, I mean, obviously, it doesn't need to check Togekiss as well, so it's not as good. I mean, Togekiss is actually here as well. Galarian Articuno, I could only see this on like hard setup teams. So maybe it's even D. Galarian Moltres, actually another good Stormbreaker. This thing with Rest is just unkillable by Storm. Just 6-0 Storm on its own, because you can't Dynamax and kill it, and like a lot of the traditional Storm, like the offensive core of Storm, like there's no Pheromosa, for example, is a big one. Like, you know, maybe you're bringing Dragapult, Drigavish and Galarian Arm, you're literally forced to bench your Storm versus Galarian Moltres straight away, and Dragapult doesn't even beat Galarian Moltres, so you have to have Dom. I think it's really restrictive, the building. Quag, you know, she's doing great things. I think Umbreon is just like, worse. It's very niche. Gladly I can see doing work. I think it's really good against Storm. You can get it in the right situations. It can tweak through teams. I can't see much in the way of like subclassing. I see like Raw Hippowdon, well, Whirlwind Hippowdon is there, which is kind of annoying. But other than that, you know, Glalie loves a lot of these Pokemon. Like, it doesn't mind MQ. It definitely does not mind Cinderace when you can miss Pyro Ball. Porygon 2's free setup fodder. I mean, it does have issues. Maybe it's in D. Coastal Gala, I think it's just one of the worst Storm ones. I think Goth is going to be somewhat useful. It can trap Toxapex in particular. I think it's a good trap target, and Ferrothorn is another good one that it can do. Obviously, 6-0 Stall as well. Uniclass, I think maybe it's D. Slightly too slow. Scizor, I can see being good with Volt Turn chains, with like Zapdos or Rotom forms. But I think it'll be secondary. It's good Rainboom check, good Mimikyu check, good actually good Dom Galar check as well, decent T-Tar check. So it does have some things going for it actually. I'll put it in C. I think I'll put B. I think I'll put Magnezone in B as well. Magnezone, I think it's actually better than all these Pokemon, yeah. Magnezone, I think you could see like some potential like drag spam, like Scarf Charm, Bandit D-Knight, you got Hydreigon here. You don't have the Lassie Twins obviously, but like you can like you have Dragapult. So I can see something like that plus Magnezone could be pretty fun. Magnezone just obviously getting rid of Corviknight and Skarmory and Ferrothorn, so that you can put in work with your dragon moves. Also, obviously, very good against Mimikyu. So yeah, I can see something like that being kind of fun and use. Obviously, Mimikyu's good stuff in his tracks, so maybe you want like Sans, you know, Drill plus Tar, and then like 3 dragons, and then Magnezone could be pretty funny. It does seem
does seem a bit weak to ground type, but yeah, that's just something that came up in my head. Tokus I think is fine. It's a good Stormbreaker. I just think it's going to suffer for the fact that it can't Dynamax. Scarf's still going to be okay. And put all this shit down here. Salvatore I could see being in C actually, just for water absorb. In fact, it can be used with rain. I don't think rain's gonna be that good, but we can give it a go. Volk I think is actually gonna be here, so it's just a niche sweeper. I don't think the meta's too kind to it, but Volk can do Volk things. And this I think, Zolt I think is here as well. Good Soulbreaker. But yeah, other than that, not got too much going for it. Actually, it's not that good of a Stormbreaker because it has quite problems. I think this tier. Yeah, I'll put all of these down here. Actually, I could see Hydreigon being in C as well. I think Dark Horse is pretty difficult to switch into. Here, I also has like some Tornasty Plus stuff, which could be good against fat teams. The rest of these are like, I feel like these are just worse than Shifu's. Essentially, but with slightly better coverage. I mean, Tarak can obviously pressure Zapdos in a way that Shifu can't really, but it is weaker versus stuff like Aegislash and just Ghost in general. Just put these here. I think Grimstar C can do some stuff with screens. I think that's it. That's kind of like where I'm at with the meta game. Hopefully that was interesting for people, and let me know what you think in the comments or not. This is just my opinion of like what may or may not be good for Spikemuth Cup, and yeah, I'll just end it there.